Ciao and welcome! I'm Giulia, and today we're going to talk about the best settings for importing your images into Lightroom. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So, this is again a super important topic so that you can stay organized and start your workflow in the right way, even if you're just starting out. So, don't be like Ted. No one told me I could automatically edit my photos while I import them to my computer. Yes, you can with the right Lightroom import settings. So importing in the right way will help you stay organized and will save you lots of time and lots of effort. So let's go into Lightroom and have a look at how to best import our photos. So we're now into Lightroom and we want to import some of the latest photos that we shot inside of Lightroom so we can edit them and export them and everything. Not only do we want to import them into Lightroom, but we also want to copy them on our hard drive so that we can start organizing them. And we have more classes on how to organize your image library, so go check those out for more details. But basically, your whole organizing workflow starts here in Lightroom. So we go here and we click on import. So the import window will pop up. This is where our organizing and backup workflow starts. Now, here on the left, we have our source. So where are we taking these images from? Macintosh HD is my main hard disk. Big Guy is my external hard drive where I store my image library, is my working hard drive. And Arial is my memory card. I've created a folder here for, tutorial purposes where I already have all the photos that I want to import. And these are the photos from our latest photo shoot session with Laura. And I want to get them not only into Lightroom, but also on my computer. So here in the middle window, you can see all of the photos. And you can select them all or unselect them all. And you can also do it here, check all or uncheck all. Meaning, do you want to import them all or do you want to just import a few of them? That's entirely up to you. Another thing you need to be aware of here in this middle section is this top part out here. So when you have your memory card with new images that you want to both import into your Lightroom catalog as well as copy them, that's why it's called copy. You want to copy them from your memory card into your hard drive, because you want to stay organized. So you need to make sure that the copy here is selected. Move means that you're just going to move your images from one folder to another folder on your main hard drive, while add means that your photos will not be copied from one source to a destination, but they will only be added to the Lightroom catalog. So to start the whole workflow, we want to copy so that we both have the photos into the Lightroom catalog as well as on our hard drive. So copy selected. I want to import all of my photos, but obviously you can just, again, select the photos that you want. You hold Shift to select multiple photos, and then you click on the check to only select those photos that you want. Alternatively, you just go check all, and they will all be imported. Now, here on the right, we have a look at the destination. So where do we want to copy these images to? Now, I explained this in much more detail in the organizing class. So go and check that out again, so that you know exactly like how to structure your folders and like how to stay organized with your image library. But basically, I am going to explain to you a little bit about this now. So here it gives you the option to build previews. So what does that mean? So previews are the little thumbnails that you see when you're editing and working within Lightroom. Minimal is just good enough for working, or you can build smart previews. Smart previews are a very useful tool if you want to keep your images stored somewhere, like for example in an external hard drive, and you don't always want to carry that hard drive with you. This is useful if you're like me, traveling a lot, for example. If you're at home and you have your studio and all of your photos are always on your computer, blah blah blah, then you don't really need to build smart previews. But if you're like me and you have a laptop, you're working from a laptop, and all of your photos are stored into an external hard drive, sometimes I don't want to take my hard drive with me, so I build smart previews. That takes longer when you import and copy the photos. However, what that allows me to do is it allows me to edit and work on those images even if the original file is missing. So if my hard drive is not connected to my laptop, I can still work on my files. And then when I connect the hard drive, Lightroom is going to automatically update the files when he can find them. But in the meantime, it basically saves all of the edits, all of the things that I do on my files in these smart previews. So this is really up to you. Don't import suspect duplicates, meaning Lightroom will recognize the photos that are already inside your catalog, so you can avoid duplicating them. It's pretty self-explanatory here. Here, if you want, you can already make a second copy to a secondary hard drive, which means you can automatically backup every time you import new photos. You can automatically make a copy so that you're sure that if anything happens, the Lightroom catalog gets corrupted or your hard drive fails or whatever, then you already have a second copy. Add to collection, I am explaining collections and what they are in another class when I talk about the library module, so go check that one out. Now, another cool thing that you can do when you import your photos is you can rename them, like as simple as that, as simple or as complicated as you want to rename them. Because obviously having a bunch of files and a bunch of photos just called Ari is my cameras, or whatever it is that your camera DSC or something, that doesn't really help because sometimes you like they all look the same. So I always rename my photos while I import them. Renaming your files is entirely up to you. You have to choose a name structure that works for you. Some people choose the year and the date. Some people choose to just name it the subject of the photo. That's my personal approach. So I know that this is a tomato salad, so I am going to name these images tomato salad. As simple as that. That works for my brain because I know that if I shot a tomato salad, I'm gonna just search for tomato salad and I'm gonna find it. I will. My brain doesn't work with dates, so I would never remember when I shot this. So this way, automatically, as you import your images, you also rename them. So if you go over here into the settings and you go edit, you can choose how to rename your files. So custom text, so for example, tomato salad, and then you can choose to leave the file number. You can choose to put like a suffix number. So for example, 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's entirely up to you. You can even add the date after it automatically. So whatever the date is, Lightroom is going to include that for you after you after you put your custom text in. Lightroom is automatically going to rename the images for you, and you can add as many or as few of these as you want. You can add the dimension. You can add pretty much any information that you want to the file name of your photo. And that is pretty powerful. Here, have a play around with all of these settings because there's quite a bit here. So have a play around and see what works for you. Again, it needs to be something that works for you. I don't use date. I use the original file number. But that's it, my personal preference. And then once you're done, you click done. And whenever you put in your custom text, Lightroom will automatically add whatever other information you decide to add to your file name. Now here is one of the cool things about Lightroom that will save you tons of time. What can you do here? While you import your images and you copy them onto your hard drive, you can also edit them. Whoa! How? With presets. We have a whole class on presets, how to create them and how to use them. So check that one out. But basically, once you have an editing preset that is either yours or that you purchased or that is one of these default Lightroom ones, basically what it does is as you import the photos, you will apply that preset to these photos. So I have a flash preset because I know that I've shot these images with flash. So I have a basic flash preset, which I created for myself. So whenever I shoot a session with flash and I import those photos, bam, I automatically add that preset so that I know later on I will not have to do all of those edits, but I can do them straight away. Stuff like white balance, sharpness, contrast, the basic things. And again, check the class on presets out because it's fairly interesting and oh my god, it's so useful. You can also decide to add metadata to your files as you import them. Again, we have another class on this. Check out the library module class if you want to learn more about metadata and keywords. But basically here you can input the generic and basic keywords for your images. So in my case, it would be tomato, it would be salad, it would be food, it would be flesh, etc., etc., etc. Then the last panel down here in the destination, obviously here is where you tell Lightroom where to copy your images to, as well as obviously having them in your catalog. You also want to copy these into your folder structure so that you keep them organized. I would normally put my images into Big Guy, which is my external hard drive. But for the purpose of the tutorial, I have actually created a folder on my desktop just to make it extra simple and extra quick. But here is where you really start organizing your image library. So go ahead and put it into the folder where it belongs. So maybe if you have a folder called salads, then the tomato salad will go into the folder called salads so that you can easily find them always. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I am going to put it into the food photo circle folder that I have on my desktop. You can also choose to automatically create a folder within a folder. So let's say, for example, you have the folder savory, and then inside the folder savory, you have the folder vegetarian, and then inside that folder, you have the folder salads, and inside the folder salads, you decide to create another folder called tomato salad. So this would be your last folder in your organization folder structure. I'm a bit of a folder geek, so I have lots of folders. You don't have to have that many. Check out the class on how to organize your images so that I give you examples of folder structure and I explain the whole process in more detail there. But basically, I'm creating a subfolder called tomato salad, which is going to go inside my food photo circle folder, which means automatically, as I import, Lightroom is gonna put and organize those images into my folder structure as well as importing them into the catalog. And then we just click import, and ta-da! It's gonna come up this loading bar over here. And as you can see, the tomato salad folder is appearing underneath my main food photo circle folder. So check out another class that we have where I explain exactly everything about the library module, so that you will know what to do once you have imported all your photos. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!